Happy Mardi Gras slash Fat Tuesday. I mean, it may not be that day when I upload this or when you even see this. I don't know. I may not even upload this. I don't know. So this is completely unscripted, so this will be pretty bad. As most unscripted videos are. I am how long? Less than 2 hours from seeing How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Here's the thing. First movie came out in 2010. Okay, I was 14 going on 15. I was the perfect age to get involved in that series since Hiccup and Astrid, Fish Legs, all of them were about that age in that movie, you know? Except I didn't watch it at that time. I actually became obsessed with the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy and the series and all the TV shorts 2 weeks ago. That's not even a joke. Not even kidding. And that's how much it has captivated me. So I sort of saw the first one when I was about 17 or so, and I was babysitting a couple of boys, but I was like preparing dinner or something, and I wasn't really paying attention, and thus I didn't really watch it. But I had always heard like little things about it, like, oh, it's such a good series, like you should watch it, and I was like, whatever, I'm fine. But then I saw that I had the chance to watch it via like YouTube TV, which is like a thing on Roku, whatever. And this was literally 2 weeks ago, like from today, exactly. I decided I'm gonna watch the first one. And I loved it. Especially the score. John Powell. Oh my gosh, that score is amazing. I loved it. I love the characters, just everything about it. So I immediately watched the second one right after that, and I sobbed, and the score was just as amazing, and I was dying. Oh my gosh, so good. Then I find out that there's little TV shorts and 2 different series, TV shows. So I watched all of the shorts. I watched as much as I could of the first TV series, which admittedly had weird graphics, but I really liked it, and there's actually a few episodes that I haven't had the chance to record yet, so I'm still watching more of it, so yay, more to watch of little baby Hiccup, and it's so cute. And I watched all of the Netflix series within the past 2 weeks, all of this. The entire series, both of them, as much as I could, the shorts and both movies, multiple times, and I'm officially obsessed and cannot wait to see Hidden World tonight. And I had to make it on a Tuesday because that's when Discount Tuesday is at my local theater. It's cheaper, and you get luxury recliner seating for like dirt cheap. It's great. I'm so excited. And I thought, you know what? I know I'm gonna cry, which is why it was probably dumb to put on any eye makeup whatsoever. Whatever. So this is almost like a before and after reaction. The quality is gonna get really bad in a second, unless I don't use the footage. I don't know, because once I'm at the theater, I'm gonna record myself preparing to see it on my little phone here with my Ravenclaw pop socket, and thus the quality will be really, really bad. Anyway, and if I can record my thoughts like right after, I will, but that may not happen just because it'll be dark and I'll be in a theater parking lot, and that's kind of creepy. So prompts not. Anyway, I'm super excited for this series or this last installment, and this is a reaction, I guess, of sorts. I will say I'm already kind of spoiled, not because of like Pinterest posts, although there were a couple of Pinterest things that came up on my Pinterest that I was like, dang it. I didn't want to know that yet, but at the same time I'm also super excited. But honestly, just watching the trailers spoiled me for what's gonna happen. The trailers had spoilers. Now, I get it. They're kid movies, so, like, they're not, like, your average, like, 10-year-old kid is not going to necessarily put all these things together. But any of the short clips that I saw that were, like, released to the public to see, like, in little interviews or whatever, and all the trailers, watched them just a couple times, and I put together what was going to happen. I was like, oh, that's what the Hidden World is. Great. I'm gonna cry a lot. Great. This is great. Yep. So I'm bringing tissues with me. Also, I should mention, yes, I'm very aware of how ridiculous it looks for someone to be like gushing over kids movies, which they have really good themes in them. They're not just kids movies. You know, there's really good themes in them, and I am someone who gets very attached to stories and characters. I mean, look up on Pinterest like quotes about introverted book readers. Most of the stereotypical ones apply to me. So I get very attached because I love the stories, I love the characters, they draw you in and they tell you a message and it's great and it's just, ugh. So I know how ridiculous I seem. Trust me, I do. I mean, anyone who's seen my reaction to the Avengers Endgame trailer, yeah, I get emotionally invested, and I'm not ashamed of that because it's not a bad thing. So, anyway, moving on. Anyway, I've talked for too long, like 5 minutes. I don't know if I'm even going to cut any of this. I may not, and I'm sorry for that. I'm real sorry. I might put a time step at the beginning of this video and be like, skip to this time if you want to get past the crap of me talking. Anyway, see you in a second. Alright, so I'm leaving now. I'm going by the store to grab a water bottle to put in my giant Zelda satchel. I can't show you without like not looking at the road. Because I always sneak a water in. And even though I'm a pretty healthy eater, I'm actually going to get myself a little snack because it is Fat Tuesday. And of course, that's what Mardi Gras is about, right? Not really, but yeah, I'm gonna go get me some couple of sweets. It'll probably make my stomach hurt, but don't worry, my tears will distract from the stomach ache, I'm sure. Also, I freaking love the song Between Stoic and Volca from How to Train Your Dragon 2. And there's a cover that's by Taylor Davis, who's a violinist, and this group called The Fox and the Hound, or I think it's actually, they reversed it, the Hound and the Fox, and it's so pretty. Y'all should go listen to it. It's so pretty. I would play it on here if I wouldn't get copyrighted, but you know, that's a thing. This is definitely where I would sing that song with someone if I had a friend going with me, but I'm going on my own, which is totally fine. I'm actually kind of glad I'm going on my own, because if I went with a friend, like, it would have to be someone who's just as obsessed as me. You know, it can't be someone who's like, yeah, I like How to Train Your Dragon. No, it needs to be someone that's obsessed with it and will freaking cry with me the whole time, okay? When I saw Infinity War, I saw it with my friend SJ and a bunch of others. So shout out to my friend SJ and all my other friends. But SJ actually has a YouTube channel that I should link here. I should do that. But I saw it and I like specifically sat next to her, and she and I just like cried with each other the whole time. And that made that movie a way even more enjoyable experience, because I didn't feel like I had to hold back because people would be like, oh wow, you're so emotional. So anyway, on that note, I'm kind of glad I'm going by myself. I ordered my ticket on Fandango because, you know, you can reserve your seats since it's luxury recliner seating. And I purposely picked an area where I didn't think people would sit so I could be by myself and no one would bother me. I hate when you're on your own and you're like crying in a movie or whatever and people feel the need to be like, it's okay. It's like, no, I am sitting by myself for a reason. It's not because I'm lonely. Like, I have friends, leave me alone. I could have gone to see it with them and I chose not to. So, I'm seen on my own for a reason. So, I checked again and a lot of seats have been taken since I got my ticket yesterday. I purposely waited to the last second. And thankfully, no one has picked a seat near me. If someone tries to sit near me, I'm going to find an empty seat and go for it because, no, I want to be by myself. Afternoon traffic. Should have left earlier. It's my own fault. It's okay. It's like 4:58. It doesn't start till 6:15. However, this is a 40-minute drive for this theater. It's my own fault. I had plenty of time. I could have left earlier. All right, people. I'm at the theater. I'm so excited. So ready, but also so not ready at the same time. Here we go. Okay. Feeling good outside today. I'm walking into the theater. I'm nervous. my gosh, I look like a zombie. I was gonna re-record everything I said, like, on my phone afterwards, after the movie, because it was, like, really dark in some spots, but I was like, you know what, I would rather just put my genuine crazy reactions. It's gonna be terrible footage, but that's okay. But I just want to clarify that it was really dark. And something I didn't say in here, I was emotional the moment the lights went down. And I said in here, like, the movie got started, and I was like, oh, I'm fine, and then I get to the last 20 minutes, and it was like, ah. It's whenever you go to see a movie that is the end of a series, that you have invested so much time into, so much heart into, because you're someone who loves stories, who loves good characters and good messages and everything like that. It is very overwhelming if you're someone who gets as invested as I do. And I think a lot of people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Going to see Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Going to see Mockingjay Part 2. Those were huge moments of sitting in the theater and being like, wow, it's coming to an end. What I've been growing up with is coming to an end, especially Harry Potter. And like I said earlier, I could have grown up with this, but no, I didn't see it. And it's incredible. But anyway, sorry for the footage that's coming. I recorded it in the car, and I was sobbing. It was a good time. And I want to emphasize again, if you are wondering whether Hidden World is worth seeing in the theater, it is. If you are even slightly an emotional person, if you're invested in the series at all, you will want to bring tissues. It was quite a roller coaster, and I really need to see this movie on my own. I cannot wait for it to come out on DVD or something so I can take it and watch it in here and just cry. Because even if I was in the theater by myself, there'd be the person working the projector or whatever, and I'd be like, oh no, I feel weird. Yeah. I'm good now. Doesn't look like it. I'm good now. Anyway, enjoy the crappy footage. So I definitely would have recorded my reactions when I first got in the car, but dark parking lot at a theater that I'm not 100% familiar with, not a good idea. So I need to get out of sketchy areas, and I need to use my GPS until I was in an area I was completely familiar with. So here I am. I will tell you that, first of all, someone sat next to me, and so of course I was not completely relinquishing of all the emotions. I feel like I need to see it again and be like completely alone, but you know, it's fine. And I will also say that I got in the car and finally let it all out. You're getting the tail end of it, which is fine, which is good. In other words, it was a really good movie. Obviously, I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's really dark. I mean, for a couple reasons, I'm not gonna just go into my room and record this, because I would, you know, walk into my house and everyone would be like, what's wrong with you? And I'd be like, oh, the movie was just so beautiful. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. And I'm like, I know, I'm overly emotional, I know that, but it was really good, and I'm kind of glad that I'm not recording right after I got in the car, because I was full on sobbing. I needed to let it out, okay? I did cry in the theater, but I had like my right sleeve covering my face so that the person next to me didn't like see the incessant streams. Also, I'm sorry, my car is so loud, there's a hole in the muffler. Wow, it got dark all of a sudden. Anyway, it was so good! There was an interview with the guy who plays Hiccup, Jay, I forget how to pronounce his last name, it starts with a B, and he had said the ending is what How to Train Your Dragon fans deserve, it's what they need, and I was like, yeah it is, but I was definitely right about how the movie would progress, and I actually kind of thought I wouldn't cry once I got in there, and like we were partway into the movie, I was like, you know what, yeah, this is one of those cases where I say, oh, I'm gonna cry, and I'm like, actually no, I'm fine. Nope, come the last like 20 minutes, I was sobbing.
complete and utter sobbing. Just, I was done. And I couldn't. And then, of course, the moment, Hickstrid children come on the screen, and I was dead. And it was so good, and they were so cute, and the girl was terrified. Their daughter was freaking terrified, and it was hilarious. But for him to have not seen Toothless and her to not see Stormfly for that long, I mean, it had to have been at least 5 or 6 years. That girl, their daughter must have been at least 6 or 7 years old, and they probably didn't get married till another year after the movie, maybe. So yeah, it was probably getting close to 10 years since he had seen Toothless in that epilogue, and for him to just come right back and be like, I know who you are, you're my human, you're Hiccup, and it was just great. And the children were adorable, and seeing them play with their children was adorable. Oh my gosh, I'm filled with so many emotions, and I know it sounds ridiculous, I know it does, I'm well aware of how ridiculous it seems to cry over something like this. It is really dark. That's probably a good thing, because my makeup's going. But the thing is, I know these are children's movies, but the message was so simple, but, it was simple enough for children to understand, but so profound, maybe not profound's not the word, but so strong and so heart-wrenching if you're an adult, especially if you're a young adult. The concept of letting go of your childhood and your teenage years, taking what you've learned and letting it go free, and having to move on from the things you were used to, from the things that made you you, and having to realize, no, those things didn't make you you, they just made it easier to be you. And you have to embrace who you are and move on from the things that were making it easier, and life's gonna get harder. And that's really hard to hear sometimes, but I relate. I guess I never clarified why I'm recording in 1 minute intervals. The thing is, since I'm recording this on my phone, I'm never able to send messages to myself, like emails or anything, of videos that are more than a minute long. It always says the file is too big, and I'm just inept and can't figure out how to work things and blah 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 blah, so I have to do it in 1 minute intervals. I wish I could say the sniffles were just left over being sick, but I'm not sick anymore, so my heart is broken but built back up all at the same time, and I really wish that movie were real and I could live in it. But at the same time, I really don't want to be a Viking, because I like indoor plumbing and certain technologies and things of the like. But oh my gosh, so good. Also, can we just acknowledge how realistic and authentic the Hickstrid relationship is, okay? None of this extreme lovey-dovey, kissing all the time crap. They play with each other. They're friends. They are friends. And they joke with each other. They're friends. That's the main thing. They are friends, and they just happen to also love each other in a little bit of a stronger way and want to be together for a stronger reason. Their relationship is a good example of what a relationship should be. And they disagree, and they have little fights, and they listen to each other. It's so good. Oh, and can we please talk about the scenes with baby Hiccup? Oh my gosh, so freaking adorable. And speaking of babies, the transition from closing in on Astrid and Hiccup, mainly Hiccup, and then transitioning right to his young son's face, wiping his nose, and him saying, when I was a boy, there were dragons. That is so beautiful and so good. Baby Hiccup and Hiccup's babies, and Astrid looks so cool all the time. I never would have pictured Hiccup with a beard, but also I love that he's still skinny. Oh, speaking of skinny, the line from the person that thinks he's a demon, he's like, no demon has legs that skinny. Or he doesn't say demon, he says no human has legs that skinny. Because you see him with all of this armor and everything, and it's you do realize that the only reason he looks any thicker than he is because he's wearing all that armor. He's still a stick figure, and and it's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So good. I feel like this is super boring, just having my face be like completely black in darkness for this, but oh my gosh, I'm almost out of gas, so I have to get gas. Basically, if you have not seen Hidden World, it's something you need to see in theaters. You need to experience it in theaters, and I'm dead serious. And also, I didn't get my picture with a giant thing of Toothless because I was alone and I felt weird, even though I like being alone, but also I felt weird. So I think my mom and I are gonna try and go see Captain Marvel next Tuesday. We're not like too interested, but we're gonna go see it anyway because Marvel. And I'm gonna be like, if that's still there, Mom, you need to get my picture with Toothless. I wish it was Stormfly. I really like Stormfly, but anyway. Oh gosh, there's the line. Go see this movie. It's so good.